My mother-in-law pretended to have cancer to control our lives, so I gave her a taste of real illness. My mother-in-law Carol used sickness to get out of things. She limped at my graduation, but I saw her dancing the next day. She wore a neck brace to our party, so she couldn't help but took it off in the car. She had back pain when we needed a babysitter, but went hiking with friends. My husband Steven always made excuses for her and never stayed long enough to see the truth. Carol destroyed my life when she announced pancreatic cancer at my baby shower. She said, "The doctor gave me 6 months to live," in front of everyone. Steven moved her in without asking me. She demanded organic food that cost hundreds weekly and supplements from specialty stores. I had to drive her to chemo during important work presentations. We couldn't see my family because she needed constant care. She took over our house completely. No candles or perfume because smells made her sick. No music or TV because noise hurt. The thermostat stayed at exactly 68 degrees. She would call Steven away whenever we tried to be intimate. She needed $15,000 cash for experimental treatments. I drained our savings and nearly took out a second mortgage. She forced me to quit my career. When I suggested a second opinion, she cried hysterically until I apologized. She convinced Steven I was jealous and wanted her dead. She said, "You'd understand if your mother was dying, knowing my mom died of actual cancer last year." Carol had attended that funeral and apparently took notes on every symptom. Her performance was perfect because she'd studied the real thing. My pregnancy became high risk, and the doctor put me on strict bed rest. Carol had a terrible pain episode that same day and needed immediate care. I went to her purse to find her insurance card to call her doctor. I found a receipt from a luxury spa dated during her last chemo appointment. I kept digging through her bag and found more receipts from different spas. Every single chemo day matched a spa visit down to the exact dates. There was a membership card for an exclusive resort where our $15,000 went. Everything clicked into place as I stared at those receipts. She had studied my mom's cancer at the funeral and copied everything perfectly. While I almost lost my baby from stress, she was getting hot stone massages. I thought about confronting her, but knew she'd just fake another crisis to escape. I stayed quiet and kept taking care of her like nothing happened at all. I started planning that day because if she wanted to be sick so badly, then I would help her get there. I spent weeks researching what happens during elder fraud investigations. The stress alone causes real anxiety attacks and stomach problems. Carol was smart about avoiding insurance, but taking cash for fake treatments was still illegal. I secretly opened my own bank account and started rebuilding our savings. I reported her to Adult Protective Services anonymously. Every spa receipt got photographed and cataloged with matching chemo dates. I created a detailed timeline proving her symptoms only appeared when she wanted something. Steven agreed we should organize his mom's medical records for supposed tax purposes. Other family members revealed Carol's history when I reached out. Her sister exposed the fake pneumonia story, and her cousin described missing surgery funds. Carol announced a massive survivor celebration party for beating cancer. She wanted everyone there to celebrate her miraculous recovery. I strategically timed my report so investigators would arrive during party week when all witnesses would be available. Adult Protective Services investigators arrived during Carol's fake recovery day. They demanded documentation including doctor names and treatment records. Carol stammered, "The records were lost in a fire at the clinic." The investigators checked their tablets and confirmed no fires at any medical facilities. She couldn't name a single doctor or hospital. The investigation triggered immediate physical reactions. Real hives erupted across Carol's neck and chest. She developed severe insomnia and spent nights pacing. Her stomach cramped constantly and she ran to the bathroom every hour. Steven demanded medical records, but Carol's fake documents had glaring errors. She spelled oncologist wrong and used an outdated hospital logo. Her survivors party became her public downfall. Most guests stayed away after hearing about the investigation. The few attendees were actual cancer survivors from her support group. They discussed specific chemo protocols and port placements Carol couldn't follow. She confused radiation with chemotherapy and claimed she took medications that didn't exist. When asked which oncology ward she used, Carol panicked and named the maternity wing. The survivors exchanged knowing looks. That night, Steven tore through her room and discovered her journal. Pages detailed cancer symptom research spanning a year. She'd practiced weak voices and timed fake vomiting. Bookmarked articles explained convincing illness performances. He confronted her holding the evidence and asked, "Mom, what is this?" She claimed it was novel research, but her voice cracked. Steven walked out as Carol developed her first real panic attack, gasping for air while finally experiencing actual medical distress. Carol developed chronic anxiety and IBS that left her housebound. Family cut contact completely. Steven placed her in assisted living and rarely visits. I had my baby and got promoted. She's genuinely sick now, but nobody believes her. When asked about her, I smile and say she's getting what she deserves.